he had a conflict, but he got so he said the guy, he seems great. So,
Yeah.
going to Kosovo.
Yeah, right.
Right after 4th of July with Judge Woodward.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh,
She's doing great.
yeah, I haven't seen her in a while.
She's doing actually back-to-back programs for us. She's doing that, this, and then Iraq.
So who does more, the she or does Judge Ray?
Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
well, Ridgeway,
Thank
Ridgeway, right now, Ridgeway and Judge Donald on 6th Circuit. Bernice Donald, she does a ton of stuff. But those two are probably our most active two.
I'm sorry.
It's possible.
When was it?
Oh, okay, Shannon Ross. Oh, okay, hi, great, nice to meet you. Oh, perfect, okay. Yeah, right, absolutely.
Yeah, oh yeah, Albania is the language.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, that was. Yeah, we've got a lot of turnover unfortunately this summer. Yeah, but we've got some good folks for, Sure, yeah. I do, I'm gonna bring a whole pile of them.
Yeah.
Somehow buried in my
I'll bury that for my wife.
Yes, yes.
There's always something just before or after I go. It's incredible.
And so you are at the Iraqi embassy, and what do you do there? Yeah, I was wondering.
Are you recording this?
Oh, very good. And so,
Both. Both,
but
yeah.
when you are, when you say foreign first secretary, do you have different sections?
So it matters what
like
you say.
political economic or?
Right.
No, just
FOIA.
Okay, good, yeah. You're on the Near East Affairs, Iraq desk. On
Yeah,
the
how do
economic
we didn't
development
cover any
in
video
Minsk.
recordings during our
Yes.
records retention program, did we?
Yes, exactly.
I had Angel Talbot Duarte and Helen Lee
Yes,
come and do
I
all
was
records
in
retention.
here
Yeah.
from
Thing for
2009 to
us.
2011.
If yours operating like ours, it won't make that much difference anyway.
But it's crazy that you're supposed to have a hard, not even an instant age. Nothing is certified as soft copy. You're supposed to have hard copies of it.
2011.
And it's just.
Very good, yeah. We had many great meetings with the ministries, and so.
How is Mike Levitt's gone? Yeah, Mike's gone, he's all retired, he still comes back in a suit and has lunch and stuff, yeah, you know Mike, he can't get it.
See if she can turn down, I mean, get the air going, feel free.
Oh, sure. So,
At
the front.
Yes.
He retired, Joan retired,
I think we're all.
I think probably next year Barbara
Did you
probably
ever
will.
visit the embassy? No. Oh, okay, so next time.
Sorry.
I know, but I think at some point it's gonna kick in.
Yeah, it's
Because
going
her
to be
husband
happy,
can
I think,
retire
to invite you, so tell me when you are going. It's just very nice.
If we can start, if it's okay. I just have a simple agenda here, but I think we can make it quite open. First, thank you very much for coming. I know we finished our program this past Sunday in New York, but I'm very glad that you were able to come to Washington, D.C. and tour the sites and have an opportunity to have an informal interagency meeting. And we'll start with our Chief Counsel for the Commercial Law Development Program, Mr. Stephen Gardner. And then we'll go by remarks by Ms. Shannon Ross from the Department of State. And then we'll have Mr. Osama as the Second Secretary from the Iraqi Embassy. And then we'd like to hear from you afterwards. And then we'll have a simple ceremony of awards. And our attending guests, if they would.
Okay, thanks Mace. I'm delighted to greet all of you, and I want to stop before I say anything. Just with a small group like this, why don't we go all the way around the table so we'll all know who we are, and then we can start talking. So if
And I'll be the de facto translator.
okay, please.
So
please do.
if you're speaking from English to Arabic, just please slow down the terminology, and we'll make it work.
Okay.
اتفضلوا إذا كل واحد يعرف يشرف نفسه عن اسمه.
نعم. طه حمد رشيد رئيس رابطة تنمية وتطوير التجارة والصناعة رجال الأعمال ومدير مفوض في شركة نوفا.
My name is Mr. Taha Abdul Rahman, Chairman of the Kurdistan branch of the Association of Industry and Trade Development of Iraqi Businessmen. and he's also the president of the Nova company.
I'm Ahmed Abdullah Tafir, chairman of the Mania branch of the same association. Beside, I'm commercial manager of electronic industries company. It's one of the leaders company in Iraq in electronic products. We supply, assemble TV, computers, everything, every electronic products.
نعم رزان الرشيدة
My name is Raza Nouri Rashid.
كومبانيا رامية
He has a company called Rawa.
كهربائية
It's of electric
كهربائية
trading, electric trading commercial.
أيمن جمال مهندس ميكانيك مدير إفراج شركة أيرباص.
Mr. Abdelmanian, he's a president of Airbus company, also electronics based company.
Okay,
And he is an
electronics.
engineer,
Okay.
engineer by training, yes.
Okay.
So we can go on.
Yeah, please. Patrick, why don't you start that side?
Sure, so my name is Patrick Durbin. I'm an intern for the CLDP for the summer.
أستاذ باتريك دوربن مساعد بالصيف ب-CLDP.
اسمي ميغان ماكميلان وأنا محامية استشارية أيضا في برنامج عراقي.
زميلتي بالمكتب.
I'm Kurt Silvers. I'm Executive Vice President of the National U.S. Arab Chamber of Commerce. We're the oldest and most broadly focused American organization dedicated to expanding trade between the United States and all 22 countries of the Arab world.
أستاذ كورت هو فايس بريزيدنت من المجلس التنفيذي من التجاري بين أمريكا والبلاد العربية ومهتمين إلى تواصل التجارة بين أمريكا والشرق الأوسط.
I'm John Sullivan. I'm a partner in a law firm here in DC, Mayor Brown, and I'm also the chair of the U.S.-Iraq Business Dialogue. I previously served in government as the Deputy Secretary of Commerce from 2007 to 2009.
أستاذ جون سولفن هو محامي بشركة كلش مهمة اسمها ماير براون. طبعا هو هسه رئيس الحوار التجاري بين أمريكا والعراق، وفي نفس الوقت هو كان يشتغل بوزارة التجارة محامي عام مهم جدا.
أنا أسامة سامي. I'm Assistant Secretary. I work in Iraq.
أستاذ أسامة من السفارة العراقية سكرتير ثاني.
My name is Diana Chanis. I work at the Department of State on the Iraq desk. I'm the senior desk officer. My portfolio is U.S.-Iraq business engagement, and I look forward to continuing our discussions later.
تعرفتوا انتوا على ستة يحتاج واحد.
I'm Shannon Ross. I'm the acting director for economic and assistance affairs for Iraq at the State Department.
شانون راسي بتشتغل بوزارة الخارجية متخصصة على مكتب العراق.
Okay, all right. So I'm Steve Gardner, the Chief Counsel here at CLDP, and we're delighted to have you. I want to make a couple of announcements before. You're sitting amongst some very award-winning people. I'm up here with a row of 3 people. All 3 of them received awards yesterday at the State Department for their work with Iraq and in the region.
Congratulations for the
Nation, Diana, all got awards, and it was really nice to see them get those because they're all very hard workers doing a great job, and it was nice to see them awarded all of those things. So congratulations and thank you. Also, I just want to point out to you that we are sitting with my former boss in many respects, and also our previous deputy secretary, the number 2 person in our whole department of 40,000 people, John Sullivan, previously ran this whole ministry. Not too many years ago. It's getting longer away now, isn't it? It seems like just yesterday, John. And now, but we're delighted that he stays as engaged as he does, and I'm sure you know the role he plays with the U.S.-Iraq Business Council, and certainly from the State Department, the Commerce Department. Thank you for staying involved like you have, and all of your service in every respect. So, I'm really very interested to hear about how it went. with the program, I don't wanna spend a lot of time other than just to say thank you and welcome, for coming here. Oh, I'm going, doing
Well,
this.
I think they got most of it, but I'm writing it down, so don't
Okay,
worry.
well, you go ahead, take a little
Okay.
break and
من
get some of
يا
that, sorry.
بدنا نترجم كله كله
لا والله
لا
مختصر
وانت مختصر.
استهناها بس
اوكي ده يقول طبعا الاستاذ جون سوليفان هو كان طبعا رقم 2 بوزاره التجاره الامريكيه، فهو كان الرئيس يعني قصدي هو كان قاعد يشتغل بوزاره التجاره، والى هسه هو فرحانين اللي هو يكون موجود صوته وموجود يعني هو محاضر في انواع البرامج اللي احنا نسويها بوزاره التجاره ووزاره الخارجيه. والحقيقه استاذ ستيف ما يريد يعني يعطيكم شيء رسمي، بس يريد يتعرف من عندكم ويشوف شنو الوفد الكريم شاف من فرصتكم بنيويورك، شو استفادتوا من البرنامج، عاجبكم تشوفون بعد اكثر من عنده، يعني هذا فرصه الحقيقه احنا نسمع من عندكم بدل ما احنا نحكي.
Anyway, we have a lot of people that hopefully can say a few things, so welcome, thank you for coming. I would like to hear at least from maybe one of you or two of you your impressions, and so I don't want to get in the middle of how you want to organize things, but I want to make sure we get to that too, of how the program is
يقول
done.
اهم شيء يعني نريد ناخذ الفرصه نسمع من واحد او اثنين من الوفد الكريم على يعني مالتكم الاكسبيرينس البرنامج. Shannon, would you like to hear from them first, or would you like to say a few words, whichever one you'd like to do? Okay. Do you want to hear from the delegation? Sure. نسمع من الوفد ان شاء الله بعدين نوزع.
طبعا نشكر جهود وزارة التجارة والخارجية والسفارة الأمريكية والقنصلية الأمريكية في العراق لإتاحتهم هذه الفرصة للقاء مع سيادتهم، تبادل الآراء والأفكار معا لتطوير العلاقات التجارية بين البلدين.
We thank you specifically the Department of State and the U.S. Embassy, the Consulate in Erbil, and the Department of Commerce for providing us the opportunity to meet and exchange the ideas for the development of trade relations between the two countries.
نحن كممثلين عن مجموعة من تجار ورجال الأعمال العراقيين عامة وأقليم كردستان خاصة.
We are representative, trade and labor representatives of Iraq, but particularly the Kurdistan region.
كنا نتمنى أن تبدأ ترويج لهذا البرنامج CLDP أو البرنامج الأخرى قبل سنوات، كذلك بالتدريب وإقامة ندوات تعرف السوق الأمريكية الداخلة بالمواد ذات التكنولوجيا العالية، خاصة أن التاجر العراقي يكون على علم كل التطورات الموجودة.
They wish, after going through this program, they wish that there was such a CLTP program or similar commerce program years ago, and that this provided them an opportunity that is extremely needed between showing the U.S. business culture, the current technologies that are available on the U.S. market, and to learn about the technical availabilities of new equipment and products.
تقريبا طبعا بشكل عام 90% خلينا نقول كنسبة عجبنا البرنامج، وبرنامج كان جيد جدا وكان يعطي اللي احنا نريده، يعني اعطانا فكرة كاملة عن الفرنشايز، عن كيفية الحصول للندوات المحاضرات.
Generally, he would rate the program 90% very good. It gave an idea of what franchising is and what it could be, and the idea of how do you get one.
لدينا بعض من الإضافات وتوضيحات على كيفية تطوير العلاقات التجارية والاقتصادية بين البلدين.
I'd like to add a few points that might suggested recommendations that would hopefully help with the future development of relationships between U.S. business and Iraq business.
كما نسمي الدور الإيجابي للولايات المتحدة الأمريكية في إسناد الشعب العراقي عامة والشعب الكردي بشكل خاص من خلاص من الدكتاتورية والاضطهاد، نريد هنا همنا يكون الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية يكون لنا سند وظهر لتطوير التجارة والاقتصاد العراقي.
Given how the U.S. was also involved in freeing Iraq and its commitment towards not just Iraq in general, also in Kurdistan, it feels that now there should be a new strategy for U.S. trade and industry development.
من نتائج تحرير العراق الأمن والاستقرار والتطوير الاقتصادي في إقليم كردستان، حيث يتمتع كل المواطنين والزائرين من كافة الجنسيات بالأمن والطمأنينة دون وجود ما هو في وسط العراق، المشاكل الموجودة في وسط العراق.
And it was unlike the middle of Iraq, the northern region of Iraq affords much security to its citizens and to business travelers, and that there's much more opportunity. There's all types of citizens, you see all types of work developed in the northern part of the region, and that as the security continues to develop or is being challenged in the middle of Iraq.
ونتمنى أن تتحقق الديمقراطية الحقيقية في العراق، وكما نراها اليوم بيوم إعلان في هذه الزيارة في الولايات المتحدة التطور الاقتصادي ويحصل في العراق كما هو موجود في الولايات المتحدة.
Because hopefully one day Iraq will realize its democratic goal, and we appreciate very much coming here and watching democracy come to life in the way it has developed in the U.S.
النقطة الأولى اللي أريد أكيد عليها مثل كإضافة للبرنامج، تعريف التاجر أو المستهلك العراقي على الشركات الأمريكية والترويج لها وتقديم التسهيلات والامتيازات الضرورية اللازمة في هذه العملية.
One recommendation is that to facilitate more introductions with U.S. companies, particularly for potential business opportunities, in addition to franchising opportunities.
وذلك يكون التعارف الوجه للوجه.
That way there is face-to-face contact between U.S. companies and Iraqi companies.
فيكون من نقطتين، النقطة الأولى مشاركة الشركات الأمريكية في المعارض التي تقام في كردستان أسوة بالشركات الأوروبية والآسيوية، تخصيص معرض خاص للشركات الأمريكية، علما بأن تكون دخولهم موطئ قدم لتطوير تجارتهم في كل أنحاء العراق وإدارة شركاتهم في العراق ومن كردستان. أن يكون إدارة شركاتهم من يكونون بالكردستان يفتحون شركاتهم يقدرون يديرون كل شركاتهم في كل أنحاء العراق من إقليم كردستان ويكونوا هم آمنين وما عندهم أي مشاكل. هاي النقطة الأولى.
خلي بس عفوا ترجمها. A second point would be there should be U.S. presence in current trade shows that are currently happening in Iraq, particularly Kurdistan. You see all types of other business countries being represented, particularly European countries, Asian countries. It's extremely important to have U.S. presence and expos that are occurring in the northern region. Particularly, it's also important to let the U.S. businesses know that they can establish a hub, since it's a secure area in Kurdistan, that they can operate and start as kind of a stepping stone to the rest of Iraq, as some other countries have utilized the same strategy.
تعريف التاجر العراقي والشركات العراقية على المنتوجات الأمريكية والترويج لها وتقديم تسهيلات، مثلا المشاركة في المعارض، المشاركة في المعارض التي تقام في أمريكا، مثل ما كنا احنا مشاركة في المعارض، وإقامة دورات وإدخالهم في البرنامج اللي مثلا مشاركة.
The second point is there should also be a vice versa effect, where there should be strategic support to help Iraqi companies go to specific sector types of trade shows that are located in the U.S. And help facilitate that visit. That should be coupled or supplemented with similar technical assistance, similar to what you have provided for us here.
تشجيع الشركات الأمريكية خصوصا الشركات الأوروبية ودول الجوار العراقية مثل فرنسا وألمانيا وإسبانيا لفتح مكاتبهم في الإقليم، وذلك لمشاركتهم في تلبية طلبات السوق العراق والمشاركة في المناقصات الحكومية والمشاركة في الاستثمار وإعمار العراق، وأيضا تشجيع الشركات العراقية لفتح مكاتبهم في الولايات المتحدة.
2 points on that you mentioned. One is that we should find ways to encourage U.S. businesses in opening offices and exploring all types of business opportunities in Iraq, from government contracts to investment opportunities and franchises and others. So basically allowing the U.S. companies to see the diversified opportunities available. Additionally, we should find ways to support and supplement current initiatives by Iraqi companies wanting to open up affiliate offices in the U.S. in order to facilitate exchanges and to identify ripe opportunities for U.S.-Iraq business engagement.
تقديم تسهيلات وامتيازات للشركات الأمريكية التي يرغب الاستثمار أو العمل في العراق كما يفعله تركيا وإيران، وذلك عن صرف نفقات سفرهم وإعفائهم من الضرائب وإعطائهم قروض للاستثمار أو التجارة في العراق.
We should also investigate or learn about how we can ease or facilitate U.S. entrance into the Iraqi market, particularly similar to how what other countries have done, meaning how Iraq treats Turkey and other companies when it gives them, for instance, tax credits or investment opportunities that are strategic towards them. It should be also afforded to U.S. companies as well.
تشجيع الشركات الأمريكية في منح الفرنشايز لشركات إقليم كردستان وتكون تجربة حيوية وواقعية في العراق، وتوسيع شركاتهم وتكون موطئ قدم للدخول السوق العراقي الكبير.
Franchising is really a great opportunity for U.S. companies to enter the Iraqi market. It's a practical way of engaging them. It's a great stepping stone to the rest of the Iraq market.
توضيح والتعرف التجار والمواطنين على إقليم كردستان في الإعلام والتلفزيون الأمريكي للتعرف على الموقع الجغرافي والسياسي والأمني لإقليم كردستان وأهميته في سوق العراق، كما فعله قناة توب جير عن إقليم كردستان وشرحه عن كيفية دخول كردستان والعيش فيها والأمن والاستقرار.
There should also be media awareness made for U.S. companies about the security that is available in Kurdistan, particularly also, the geography, the political, the security, and about the Iraqi market, particularly in the northern region of Iraq, similar to what Britain has done with the documentary that they named Top Gear, in which they featured how British folks, I don't know if you've seen it, this is outside of what, but I'm going to Top Gear. Top Gear was a documentary about businessmen who were from Britain, it was a British-based documentary of them trying to establish a business or go in and out of the Kurdistan region, coming in from Turkey and other borders, of how they were trying to bring in goods into the country or export them out, or how the market is. And so it gave a really lively picture of what is possible. So that is what they were thinking. There should be a mass media kind of campaign to further illustrate the opportunities available.
Was that at BBC?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Top Gear is very well. Yeah, it's very fun.
وكما برأينا أن دمج الثقافات والاختلاط الاجتماعي أيضا يؤثر على تطوير العلاقات التجارية بين البلدين، وبذلك إعطاء فرصة لمن يرغبون بالسياحة في أمريكا أو لعلاج الذين يريدون السفر إلى أمريكا للعلاج الطبي، كما بدأنا بها مع دول الجوار الذين الآن لدينا علاقات تجارية قوية معهم.
There's also an opportunity in the tourism area. Also another area was actually natural holistics, العلاج الطبيعي. الطبي. علاج medical. مو holistic يعني عادي طبي عادي. Oh, medical, just general medical treatments that also is available there.
نحن كرائد التنمية وتطوير التجارة والصناعة في منظمتنا قبل التعرف على برنامجكم الكريم كنا على اتصال مع القنصلية الأمريكية وممثلين عن الحكومة الأمريكية في إقليم كردستان من أجل كيفية تطوير العلاقات التجارية بين الجانبين، ونرغب أن يكون لرابطتنا دور حيوي في تطوير هذه العلاقات وعن طريق برامجكم، وأن يتم تثبيت الرأي لديكم عن التطورات والخطوات المستقبلية لتطبيق البرنامج التالية والآتية، لأن استفادنا من هذا البرنامج وإن شاء الله نريد أن نطور البرامج الأخرى وندخلها كل العراق إن شاء الله.
As the chairman of the Association of Industry and Trade Development of Iraqi businessmen, at least for the Kurdistan region, our association with the U.S. government was particularly just for the consulates and our deal. Now that we've been introduced to you and we've been introduced to other U.S. government entities, it is in the best interest to have direct relationships and to expand the relationships and to really work together on proposed next steps as we feel we can partner up on potential new programs.
ونحن الآن نقدم لكم دعوة كريمة من قبل مستشار الأستاذ الطالباني لشؤون الاقتصادية الأستاذ عبد الله حاجي سعيد لزيارة إقليم كردستان والاطلاع على الأوضاع الأمنية والاقتصادية بشكل مباشر.
We'd like to present to you kind of an official letter coming in from the Assistant Secretary to President Jalal Talabani of interest for you to come to Kurdistan to see the secure environment and the opportunities that are there, and a letter of thank you to him. So,
شكرا.
do you want to say a few words?
Sure, yeah. Would like to say a few words. Of course, welcome from the State Department. We're extremely glad that you were able to make this trip. We are very thankful that this was perhaps the first trip from your region to this type of trade show in the U.S., but we certainly don't expect it will be the last. When the U.S. military departed Iraq in late 2011, both the State Department and the Commerce Department really viewed that as an opportunity to reopen a big push on the commercial and people-to-people relationship between our countries.
So let me just translate that one.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, go ahead.
فنرحب بكم من وزارة الخارجية. طبعا احنا هذه أول فرصة، أول تريب، سفرة زيارة من شمال العراق إلى تريد شو، وطبعا هذه مو إن شاء الله مو أخير واحدة. طبعا من طلع الجيش الأمريكي بنهاية 2011 وزارة الخارجية ووزارة التجارة شافوا الفرصة نفتح التواصل التجاري والثقافي بين الطرفين، بين الشعب العراقي والشعب الأمريكي.
It's taken us a few months internally to work out our team with the Department of Commerce, but now we are up and fully functioning. So we expect to do many, many more of these types of, to answer your point, we would like to do many more of these types of visits, facilitating U.S. companies going to Iraq and Iraqi companies coming to trade shows in the U.S. We are absolutely committed to having a wide range of introductions for Iraqi businessmen from all over the country, and businesswomen as well, I may add, to meet more U.S. firms and really across the U.S. We think there are good partnerships to be made in different technology sectors, in different areas of mutual interest in many different sectors, in many different cities.
May I just translate that? طبعا بالبداية أخذنا كم شهر عما نعرف شنو الفريق اللي نشتغل وياه ووزارة التجارة، بس هسه عندنا اتفاقية وتفهم على الفريق من وزارة التجارة اللي نشتغل وياه كمشاركة ويا وزارة الخارجية، وإحنا هسه كلش مهتمين في التعرف بين الشركات الأمريكية والعراقية، ونجيب إن شاء الله أكثر الوفود الكريمة إن شاء الله من تجار رياجيل ونساء من العراق إلى أمريكا ومن أمريكا إلى العراق. وهذا مهمة جدا على أنواع، مو بس على الامتيازات، بس على أنواع التشاركات التجارية خصوصا بالبضاعة التكنولوجية وغيرها.
One thing that has very recently happened is that we are now going to be issuing visas from our consulate in Erbil, and that is a very concrete symbol. That was a large project to bring to fruition, but that's a concrete symbol of our commitment to increase business ties and every other sort of relationship and tie, whether it's at the student level or the tourism level with the north of Iraq.
أول رمزة لاهتمامنا في مساعدة هذا النقطة اللي قلتها قبل هي هسه طبعا القنصلية الأمريكية في أربيل هسه عندها السلطة تقدر القوة تطل بيها من القنصلية. طبعا ماكو داعي بغداد والمشاكل اللي احنا مرينا بيها. طبعا هذه رمزة مهمة جدا، واما هذا البرنامج اللي اما صار وكمل واخذنا كل الموافقات كان كلش مهم جدا، بس هاي رمزة على احنا ان شاء الله نقدر نسهل الفيز للتجار والطلاب وانواع الشعب العراقي اللي عاجبه يجي لامريكا.
We do have a couple of difficulties in the north, or I won't say difficulties, but let's say challenges, in that your your trade policy and other types of governmental policies are sometimes a bit different than those we see coming from the central government. And we're going to have to look for ways to address those together. I will say we have a wonderful partner with CLDP, so if there are policy impediments to us doing business together, we would like to hear from you about that, or US companies you might be working with, and we can design programs to help address those issues. As one example, we've had some senior level trade discussions with the central government in Baghdad in March, and we're talking about some of those types of impediments. But we realize it's a little different in the north of Iraq, and so we may want to think about some creative ways that we can address that within an all of Iraq strategy.
طبعا اكو هم الحقيقه بالحقيقه والواقع اكو كم تحديات اللي موجوده من ناحيه سياسه التجاره والسياسه الموجوده من ناحيه التجاره والحكومه اللي تختلف من بغداد اللي شو تقول بغداد والجمهور ككامل وفي كردستان. بس طبعا اذا بمشاركتنا خصوصا في مشاركتنا ويا CLDP نقدر طبعا نشوف على هالتحديات ونشوف حلول لها مهمه جدا ونقدر نصمم برامج اللي تقوس على علاج هذه التحديات خصوصا من ناحيه السياسه التجاريه والسياسيه. كمثل احنا هسه بدنا نشتغل ويا CLDP على برنامج اللي كان الشهر الثالث ويا الحكومه العراقيه الجمهور كامل، وسوينا صممنا برنامج بدنا نشتغل على هالاشياء. فطبعا لازم علاج هالتحديات اذا نشتغل سوا نقدر نلاقي حلول عليها بسهوله.
And I absolutely take your point about the need to increase U.S. representation at trade shows in Iraq, in the north and elsewhere in the country. For really the first time in several decades, the U.S. was actually represented at the major trade show in Erbil last year, and we're looking forward to increasing that participation in coming years.
أنا أيد بالنقطة مالتك اللي قلتها أستاذ تاها اللي مدى نشوف الشركات الأمريكية بالتريد شوز. طبعا هذا تغير قبل ديش السنة الماضية، أول مرة اللي الشركات الأمريكية كانت موجودة بالتريد شو اللي موجود فيه كان في أربيل. طبعا إن شاء الله حنصعد هذا التشارك ونقوي أكثر.
And if we could just please ask for your assistance in terms of spreading the word with the business community in the Kurdistan region, to let us know what, to let them know first that you found this to be a useful opportunity, that you were able to make some good linkages with U.S. companies, and then to provide us with some guidance about future sectors or areas of interest that it might, your colleagues back in the Kurdistan region might be interested in coming to the U.S. to explore, I don't know, perhaps telecommunications, perhaps healthcare. There's a lot of different opportunities out there. What would be at the top of your list, and we can work with you to design programs to address those.
طبعا احنا همنا نريد نستشاركم في مساعدتكم، وهي مساعدتكم اذا من ترجعون ان شاء الله في العراق تساعدون increase يزيدون الوعي على الفرصه اللي انتم رحتوا بيها والفرص الموجوده لمشاركه والشغل مع الشركات الامريكيه، وفي نفس الوقت يعني احنا نريد نستشاركم على تعطونا يا قطاعات تريدون تركزون عليها، خصوصا يعني لو قطاع الاتصالات، قطاع الصحه، شنو القطاعات تريدون تركزون بيها، لأن ذاك الوقت احنا نقدر نركز الشركات الامريكيه في مواجههم على القطاعات.
Thank you again. We're very, very glad to see you here.
نفتحها to open it to the floor if anyone wants to say something.
Yes, I would like to. Welcome. I'm very glad that you are here. I am so glad that it was such a large delegation of 15 businessmen, which is very impressive for a very short period of time, so I thank you. I also thank CLDP and the Department of Commerce, but also especially the consulate in Erbil, because the visa situation, it gives my heart problems. So we were all on the phone in Washington, in Erbil, in Baghdad. So I am very glad that you're here, and hopefully we can have more of these so that we can smooth that operation out a little bit better, so we don't give everybody heart attacks. But I guess and I know as businessmen that business is about relationship building, okay? And unfortunately, you know about America from movies and TV. And we know about Iraq from movies and TV. Okay, you don't have movies, so all these years is TV, and it's not good television, all right? Unfortunately, it's the bad things that get onto the television. And so when we invite you here, it's a great opportunity for you to meet businesses, but really you're ambassadors for your country, okay? Because you have the opportunity to meet hundreds of US businesses all across the United States, because we plan to have these in hopefully as many states as possible. And each time you meet with 300 or 400 businessmen, they look at you and say, oh, this is an Iraqi. It's not what I see on television with the guns or the blowing, all of this. No, these are the Iraqi people. This is the real Iraq. And unfortunately, there's no other way to do that, okay? So when we encourage U.S. companies to go to the Erbil Trade Show or the Baghdad International Trade Show or even the Basra Oil and Gas Show, many of the companies are very leery about going, okay? Because they don't know what they're going to expect. They don't have a partner on the other end saying, please come, I will welcome you here, you know me, this is the real Iraq.
Let me just stress this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're lucky I got shorthand. The governor of Basra Sharifani gave me training.
Okay.
مرحب بكم. انا كلش فرحانه. الوفد الكريم كان كبير بالضخم بهذه يعني اكثر من 10 لجوا وجبناكم بوقت قصير جدا من ناحيه التواصل الفيز، ونشكر CLDP ووزاره التجاره وخصوصا القنصليه في اربيل اللي هي كانت يعني القلب اللي سوت كل الاشياء المهمه تواصل الفيز. بس ان شاء الله هسه مو مرينا بهاي الطريقه العمل، ان شاء الله حنسوي وفود اكثر فيها. طبعا انتم كتجار وخبرين في هذا الشيء، معامله التجار يعني التجاره كلها من خصوصا علاقات، فالعلاقات هي تنبني من تعرف وتنبني من شنو النظره اللي عنده من شخص واحد الى الشخص الثاني. كمثل الامريكان بس يشوفون من ناحيه العراق شيء يشوفون على التلفزيون، ما عندكم افلام فنشوفون الموجود بالاخبار. من ناحيه العراقيين يشوفون الافلام شنو امريكا وشنو ثقافتها من الافلام فهذه طبعا اللي نشوفه مو خوش اساس نبني علاقات. فطبعا انتم ندعوكم تجون امريكا هي فرصه مهمه جدا، نعتبركم انتم تصيرون سفراء للعراق، لان انتم حتشوفون وتلقون انواع الشركات الامريكيه وتقدرون تتواصلون ويا انواع الشركات الامريكيه. فذاك الوقت انتم عندكم الفرصه تغيرون الفكره الامريكان، الشركات الامريكان عندهم على العراق. احنا طبعا من ناحيه الطرف الحكومي ندعو الشركات العراقيه الامريكيه اللي تروح على اكثر من التريد شوز مثل IFE، مثل اللي صار في بصره مال النفط والغاز وانواع يعني مجالس التجاريه اللي صارت. بس الشركات الامريكيه بعدهم خايفين، والخوف هذا بس لازم نوقفه بالعلاقات اللي نبنيها وخصوصا في التشاركات اللي نسويها في هالنقاط الثانيه اللي نقدر نمشيها من قبل.
Okay, and let me just really quickly close by talking about our year-long program that we've currently had with the Governorate of Basra. We began in December of 2012, and when the governor of Basra came to the city of Houston to sign a sister city agreement. That began a whole series of follow-on activities to build relationships. When the governor came to the city of Houston, he was met by over 800 U.S. companies in many different events. We followed that up with CLDP in March or May, in May, with a Basra business delegation of over 10 Basra businesses that actually came again and met hundreds of U.S. companies. So what we're trying to do is to build relationships across Iraq. We want to do that with Kurdistan, Iraqi Kurdistan. So you are really the pioneers of that program. But we want to look for a sister city partnership for Erbil or Sulaymaniyah, or maybe a government state partnership, and start to develop those types of long-term relationships, because it's not just about business, right? It's about education, it's about planning, it's about friendship and partnership and culture and all of these things. And we're looking at all of those programs associated with Basra now. So now we are turning to Erbil or Sulaymaniyah and the Iraqi Kurdistan regions to begin to develop those partnerships too. And so we will look to your help, for your help, to establish those types of relationships. So again, thank you very much for taking your time and your money to come here. We very much appreciate it.
No problem.
Yes, well, we think this is a very, very good first step. And so thank you. And thank everybody.
أعطيكم ملخص على إشكال أنت بس يعني الحقيقة وزارة الخارجية ووزارة التجارة سووا برنامج صار له سنة اللي إحنا بدنا نشتغل ويا محافظة البصرة وخصوصا المحافظة السابق وهو الدكتور خلف عبد الصمد خلف اللي سوينا اتفاقية بين مدينة هيوستن والمحافظة مال البصرة اللي سووا اتفاقية يسموها توأمة Sister City Agreement. فسووا توأمة، ورا التوأمة وقت لما اجى المحافظ سيد المحافظ السابق أكثر من 800 شركة أمريكية هو تلاقى وياهم. وورا هذا يعني برنامج كان كبير طبعا أسبوع كامل في هيوستن. وراها احنا ورا 3 أشهر احنا سوينا وفد تجاري يجي همينا لهيوستن مرة أخرى. ذاك الوقت العلاقات بين الشركات البصراوية تجي تتعرف على الشركات الموجودة في هيوستن، وأكثر من 100 شركة تعرفت على شركات القطاع الخاص الموجود في بصرة. فإحنا دا نبدي هذه كموديل، فنعمل موديل طريقة شغل عمل. فإحنا دا نريد نشوف إذا أكو فرصة إن نقدر نلاقي نوع اتفاقية توأمة اللي تكون يعني مباشرة إن نسويها ويا سليمانية، لو أربيل، لو محافظة متخصصة. ذاك الوقت نقدر نبني العلاقات السياسية والتجارية والصحية والعام الثقافية بين الطرفين. ونشكركم جزيلا على وقتكم وجيتوا من جيبكم. وأنا صار أقول وقت خفيف فأقدر أخذ شوية راحتي بالترجمة. I told them I've been with them for 5 days so I can use a little informal language with them rather than the technical formal terms.
John Kirk.
Please. Well, thank you. I also want to welcome you from the business community to the United States. I'm glad that this program was able to proceed and appreciate the work of the State Department and the Commerce Department. We as a chamber are eager to engage more with you and with the Kurdistan region as well as with the U.S. government. We as a chamber have been active in the past. We helped open the Baghdad International Trade Fair last year. We worked very closely with the Iraqi embassy here and with Mr. Nufal al-Hassan, the commercial counselor. We've run several programs with him and have taken him around the country to several cities, as well as former Ambassador Suma Day. We had a program of visits with him to expose American businesses increasingly to Iraq.
Sorry if I just made.
Sure. I was just going to say, and we look forward to doing more of it.
Oh, okay. فأستاذ كورت هو ممثل من المكتب، يعني مو مكتب التشامبر يسموه
غرفة التجارة.
اي يعني الغرفة التجارية، عفوا الغرفة التجارية العلاقة بين التجارية القطاع التجاري. ونشكركم جزيلا على الفرصة ان نتعرف فيكم. احنا طبعا مالتنا الدائرة هي كلش مهمة لتريد توسع علاقات ويا كردستان وإن شاء الله ويا الحكومة الأمريكية. طبعا هذا مو شيء جديد لهم. هم طبعا فتحوا أول بغداد تريد فير، هم فتحوا الحقيقة جابوا أنواع الشركات الأمريكية في بغداد، ونفس الوقت يساعدون المحق التجاري هنا العراقي ممثل الأستاذ نوفل الحسن والسفير السابقين أستاذ سمير صميدعي اللي ودوهم على حول أمريكا، عرفوهم على أنواع الشركات. ذاك الوقت هم يقدرون كممثلين للجمهور العراقي التجاري يوسعون ينشرون الفكرة شنو الشركات الموجودة في أمريكا. ونشكركم جزيلا.
Well, I'm John Sullivan. Again, thank you very much for coming and inviting me here to speak. Thanks to our friends from the State and Commerce Departments for organizing this. My first trip to Mobile was in 2008. I mentioned to some of you that the Commerce Department and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce organized a trade mission of 22 U.S. companies in June of 2008 that I thought was very successful.
He's actually stopping.
I was like, did that happen?
Is it done?
أستاذ جون سوليفان يشكركم جزيلا على الفرصة اللي يتعرف عليكم. طبعا هو همين كان سنة 2008 شهر السادس 22 الشهر السادس 2008 أستاذ جون سوليفان من وزارة التجارة من كان موجود ومن الغرفة التجارية الأمريكية للتجارة سووا وفد كامل على أكثر من الشركات الأمريكية راحت لكردستان في ذاك السنة وكانت فرصة رائعة جدا.
And I personally was very impressed with the business climate 5 years ago in Iraqi Kurdistan, and I know it's only improved since then. The one observation I'd add to what my friends and colleagues have said for you in talking to U.S. businesses, one thing that I've found helpful is drawing an analogy that the U.S. businesses would understand. And that is, when a company thinks about investing in the United States, they don't think about investing in the United States. They invest in a state or a region. So they invest in they do business in California or Texas or Florida or New York. And people understand that